Today, we're talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket and whether this camera is worth it or not. So guys, before we get started, I am doing a giveaway for a DJI Osmo Pocket. I'll put a link down below in the description where you guys can check that out for your chance to potentially win one of these cameras this week. If you're new here, my name is Jeven Dovey. I do a lot of awesome filmmaking tutorials, product reviews, and I just like doing adventure style stuff. So today we're talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket and whether it's worth it or not. So I've been playing with the pre-production model of this camera for a little bit. It's a super popular camera right now because it's so revolutionary. It is tiny, it fits in the palm of your hand, it fits in your pocket, which makes sense. It's called the DJI Osmo Pocket. But the beauty of it is that you have a powerful camera that's always with you anywhere you go. And so that is one of the biggest pluses about this camera. One of the reasons why you might want to consider it is you have a filmmaking tool in your pocket everywhere you go. Now you have to realize that this is a consumer level product that has some pro features. This wasn't geared like towards professionals, but it is a good quality camera and it's got some features packed into it that appeals to pros. So you have to remember that it's gonna have limitations. If you're coming at this thinking this is a pro level product, then you gotta realize that this is not it. This is a consumer level product. There's a few serious limitations that I wanna bring up so that you guys can make a decision if it's a camera that you wanna add to your arsenal. So first off, and the biggest thing that I've found is an issue with this camera is the battery. And so it's an internal battery, it's in the device itself. There is no way to remove this battery and put a new battery in. And I think this is one of the biggest issues with this camera. There's no way to swap batteries. So if your battery dies, then your camera's done. You actually have to plug it in and you have to wait for it to charge to be able to keep recording. Now you can plug in an external battery pack and continue to record with the battery pack plugged in. So that's a huge bonus. You could plug in a power pack so you can always have it going even when it does run out of power. So in terms of battery life, it says that it gets about 2 hours when you're shooting at HD. I haven't fully tested this, especially when you're shooting at 4K 60. You're actually gonna have less time on the battery when you're shooting at these higher resolutions because it's gonna be taking more processing power to be able to deal with that footage. So 2 hours is not a ton of time. So if this is like your main camera, the camera that you're always using, you're gonna be running out of juice all the time. So if this is like your main vlogging camera and you're always vlogging, just shooting with this camera, then you're gonna run out of power and you're gonna have to carry power banks with you. Now we already do this with our phones, so it's something that a lot of us are accustomed to, but just something to note. It does take an hour to recharge the battery, and you only get about 2 hours of battery when you're shooting HD. Now when you're charging the battery for this, it plugs in the bottom of the device, so there's a USB-C on the bottom. The issue is that port is also where you're gonna be plugging in your attachments. So if you have a dongle for external audio, you're gonna be plugging in that port. So the big issue is gonna arise if you're gonna be using external audio in the future, and you're gonna be using this all the time, then you're gonna have issues with power because you can't swap out the battery. And you have to unplug your microphone and then plug in the battery pack and wait till it's charged before you can keep using it. So that's one serious limitation that firmware is just not gonna fix, and it's just something you have to know about this camera. You have this battery, it's not a super long battery, and it's something that you can't interchange. Now, in terms of accessories, they haven't released any accessories for this product yet. We have no idea in terms of price what these accessories are gonna cost, and we don't know the full extent of what accessories are gonna come out. So that's just something we have to wait for and see. Right now, basically you just get the Osmo Pocket with the attachment for your phone. So if you wanna be able to mount this to things, if you wanna be able to have these external accessories, like the waterproof housing, they're just not available yet. So if you're looking to accessorize this camera and be able to mount it in different ways, I would hold off because you need to see what's coming out and you need to see what products are gonna be made around the Osmo Pocket. Another serious limitation is that this isn't waterproof. So if you get splashed with this, if you take it out in the rain, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be able to hold up in weather. We're definitely gonna start seeing some tests coming out. I'm gonna take this snowboarding with me, but it's not waterproof, so that's one limitation. If you're in harsh environments, you might actually destroy the camera. Now, in terms of image quality, it's good. It's very sharp, it looks great. However, it does have limitations when it comes to mixed lighting. So when you get into these scenes where you have high contrast, you have sun spilling in, that's where you're gonna see this camera perform at its weakest. It doesn't have a huge dynamic range. It does have Cine-like D, which allows you to flatten out the profile and give you the ability to color grade more in post. However, it's not like you could push this footage super far. So you'll be able to retain some of the color in the sky when you do that. And this feature is definitely geared towards more pros. However, in terms of just pulling this out, shooting in the standard profile, you have to remember that this is an f2.0 lens, so there's no control of your aperture. So when you start having the sun bleed into your shots, it's just not gonna look that good. And when you have these high contrast scenes, the dynamic range is not going to be able to deal with all the exposure that you're seeing on the camera. So in controlled lighting, this camera looks really good. If you're just kind of running around shooting this in all situations, you're going to have instances where this camera is not going to look good. So in general, yes, it's a good camera. It looks great, but you got to remember it's still geared towards consumers. Overall, this is the first generation of this product and it just came out. So if you need a pocket gimbal, if you really want this, then I would suggest getting it because it does have a lot of benefits and it is very powerful for its size. For me personally, I'm gonna keep it on me all times because I'm just gonna use it randomly when I need to get some awesome stable footage. However, I'm not gonna keep it as like my main camera. I'll have other cameras on me, but this is so small, there's no reason I can't just throw it in my pocket and be able to have it as an extra tool in my kit. Now, if you're looking at this as the only camera that you're gonna use for shooting, you definitely need to understand the limitations. You need to figure out what kind of footage you're shooting and if your needs works within the limitations of this camera. I'll put some links down below in the description to a few other videos that I've done. I've done a full review. I did another video about some of the major flaws of this camera. So I highly suggest checking those videos out because they'll give you some more insights on the different limitations that this camera has. I think this camera is gonna be great for travel vloggers, for people who are always on the go, for professionals who just want a gimbal in their pocket in case they don't have the time to pull out some bigger camera equipment, and for those of us who just don't want to be super intrusive when you're shooting with cameras. If you want to be able to shoot and just not have big cameras, then this is definitely the camera to go for. If you're just like the average shooter and you want this to do like family videos, this is great. This works awesome because you always have it on you. It's smaller than getting a gimbal for your phone, and you get a lot more features out of it than you would if you're working with a phone gimbal. I've actually talked to multiple people who have thought about getting phone gimbals, or they've gotten phone gimbals and they just never use them because they can't figure them out or they just don't want to bring it with them. This, because it's so small, it fits in your pocket, it has 2 buttons, it's super easy to use. I would highly suggest anyone who's just looking for a camera that's stable, something just to capture the moment, then yes, I think this is a great camera. If you're a professional and you're looking to add this into your shoots, you also got to think that this thing is tiny, and I don't know of any situation when I have a client standing there that I would pull this out and realistically say like, we're gonna shoot on this camera. It just wouldn't go over well with most clients. If you're shooting for yourself, if you're shooting for YouTube, yes, you could definitely use this. I will use this all the time when I'm traveling, when I'm just kind of on the go, because I don't have to pull out my bigger cameras, my bigger setup, and know that I could get shots that are very stable. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. Like I said, if you want more information about this camera and you just want to see more about it, I'll put links in the below to all the different videos that I've done and some of my friends have done. Also, I'm doing a giveaway. One of you can win this camera, so make sure you enter that by going down into the description and checking out the giveaway link. And guys, that's it. If you're new here to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of awesome filmmaking tutorials, camera reviews, and I just like going on adventures, and I take you along with me. So guys, that's it. I'll see you on the next one.